Here's something to think about. The techniques you're using to build your range are actually stopping you from playing high. They were for me. I'm Paul Mays, former Professor of Trumpet at London's Guildhall School of Music and Drama and performer on hundreds of film and gaming soundtracks. I wasted years lip buzzing and doing embouchure strengthening exercises. So what's the secret to doing this? Let's find out. A thick stream of air will give you a low note. A thin stream of air will give you a high note. I want you to think about the journey of your breath for a second. It starts at the lungs as a thick stream of air, moves through your throat, hopefully without restriction, over your tongue and out through the lips, right? Well, not exactly, because we've missed out the most important step, the very step which holds the secret to playing high. Before the air hits the lips, it hits the back of the teeth. Let's try a mental experiment with lips, then without lips. First, imagine the journey of the air through your mouth with lips. And I want you to meet MDAS. He's got the touch. The air passes through the mouth, over the tongue, hits the back of the teeth, flows onto the lips and exits the mouth as a thick stream of air. Remember, a thick stream of air will naturally give you a low note. Now imagine the same journey but without the lips. A thick airstream passes through the mouth, it hits the back of the teeth, and then the airstream goes through unique changes which hold the secret to playing high. The air swirls around like the wind from a high-speed train. It dances like the flames from an open fire and splits like jets from a sprinkler. Remember, a thin stream of air will give you a high note. And for most players, somewhere in that unique process, the teeth are naturally creating thin and narrow air shapes. Shapes that can easily, effortlessly, and instantly give you high notes. The problem is the lips. Forming the lips in a conventional way just blocks off or fills in the high note shapes created naturally by your teeth. It effectively smooths out the natural contour of the teeth and you're left working with a thick, low note airstream. That's fundamentally why trumpet players have always had high note issues. Trying to turn a thick airstream into a thin airstream requires great strength and huge effort from the facial muscles. But if the lips are positioned to focus and vibrate these thin streams and jets, you'll naturally play high and you'll do it effortlessly. Now, 99% of the time, it's the lower lip which creates the small high frequency aperture, which I simply call an HFA. I've got several. Using one or multiple HFAs is part of the Mays double aperture system, MDAS for short. Check this video out if you haven't seen it yet. I'll leave links below. Since it was uploaded, I've given hundreds of successful high note consultations, identifying players' HFAs and configuring the very best way for them to play. Contact me on the email below for more info. I'm going to share 10 ways you can experiment with unlocking HFA jets. Now, you don't need to blow very fast to get high frequencies. If I blow out all of my air now, I can still play quite high just by using one of my jets. And you don't need any more strength than a child has naturally. Remember, playing high isn't about strengthening, it's about positioning. So try these in different combinations. Try to identify any HFAs. Your teeth are unique and the best way for you to play will be too. But However you play, whatever you experiment with, always sigh the air through the HFA. Number 1, position your lower lip closer to your top teeth to create faster air. Number 2, move your top lip further away from your lower lip. And there's 2 ways you can try this. First, dragging the top lip against the mouthpiece like this. You can see I kind of scrunched my nose when I did that. That might help to pull the top lip up. And the second way is to roll the top lip in. Not quite as easy to do, but with some practice, you might get there. Number 3, slightly curl your lower lip over your lower teeth like this. Experiment with the amount of roll that you use. Number 4, slightly drag down the lower lip so it's in line with the edge of your lower teeth. And that's where it wants to be when you experiment with your playing. You can experiment with the movement by really exaggerating it, pulling it down much, much further so you get used to that action. Like that, but try to have it in line with the lower teeth when you experiment. Number 5, direct the air up your nose. That pushes the jaw forward and it could just unlock any lower teeth jets that you might have. Number 6, direct the air down at the floor. Another way to do this is to put your index finger against your chin and just blow the air at your finger. It keeps the jaw back and it could open up some HFAs behind the front teeth. Number 7, think about the lower lip surfing the air that's coming underneath the front teeth. So it's kind of gliding. It's that feeling of surfing the lower lip against the air. Number 8, place your mouthpiece a little bit over to the left and then a little bit over to the right. Again, you have to experiment with how much you move it left and right, but that could unlock some channels that are actually being blocked by your mouthpiece. Number 9, place your mouthpiece a little bit lower. Again, you can experiment with how much you do that, but what that can do is unlock some air channels that are possibly being blocked up by the bottom part of the rim of your mouthpiece. You can also try placing the mouthpiece a little bit higher because that can unlock some of the air channels from the lower teeth. And number 10, try creating fast air with the dry areas of your top and lower lip. So you're going to roll them in just a little bit, but you don't want them to touch together. You want them to... So you can see just the edge of the top teeth and the edge of the bottom teeth just through that gap. So there are 10 things for you to try. Be creative, explore, experiment, and discover. Almost every player has an HFA, but if you can't find yours right now, don't worry, there's plenty more help on the way. And you can always contact me on the email below. I totally understand some of you might be skeptical about this, and it's totally different to anything that you've heard before. So let me answer a question that you should really be asking. You should be asking this of anyone, any player, whatever their standing, whatever their reputation. Why should I believe you? Well, firstly, it makes sense, doesn't it? If you really think about this, it just makes sense.
Well done. Well done. That's great.
It works. Read through the video comments from Easy High Notes in 5 minutes. And if you're still unsure and you haven't seen it yet, this is my son when he was 11 years old. He'd only been playing a few weeks.
Excellent. Great.
He has no great strength. It's his lip positioning and mouthpiece placement that gives him this ability. To him, it's quite normal. Positioning, not strength. So back to my opening thought. Are the techniques you're using to build your range actually stopping you from playing high? See you next time.